Welcome back to RF Coins, today the channel where we dive deep into the hidden treasures of United States coins and uncover the amazing value, history, and surprises locked inside even the smallest pocket change. Today we are talking about the Liberty 1973 Lincoln penny, one of those coins that seems ordinary at first glance but actually carries a fascinating story, a rich history, and in some rare cases, it can be worth a lot of money in today's collector market. This is not just a 1-cent coin, this is a piece of American history that still excites collectors all over the world, and by the end of this video you will know exactly why the 1973 Lincoln penny can be so special, how to identify valuable ones, and what the current market value really is, reaching amounts you might not even expect, up to hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and grading. The 1973 Lincoln penny is part of the beloved Lincoln cent series, which first started back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny has become the longest-running coin design in United States history. By 1973, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 60 years, and the United States Mint was still striking billions of these coins every year. The 1973 penny was made mostly of copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams, and with a diameter of 19 millimeters. This copper composition gives the coin its rich reddish-brown color, a tone that collectors often admire. What makes the 1973 penny fascinating is that this was one of the last years before the major composition change in 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to primarily zinc coins coated with copper. That alone makes earlier copper pennies like the 1973 more desirable among collectors who appreciate the heavier, richer feel of true copper cents. The obverse of the 1973 penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, facing right with the word liberty on his left and the motto "In God We Trust" arched across the top. The date 1973 sits to the right of Lincoln's bust, and depending on the mint that produced it, you may see a mint mark just below the date. The reverse of the coin shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America along with E pluribus unum. When you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial design, you can even see a tiny engraving of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a detail that makes this reverse one of the most admired designs among collectors. The 1973 penny was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco with the S mint mark. Philadelphia produced over 3.7 billion pennies, Denver struck over 3.5 billion, and San Francisco produced around 319 million. That makes the total mintage for 1973 over 7.5 billion pennies, which may seem like a lot, but what truly matters is not just how many were made but how many survive today in pristine condition. Most 1973 pennies entered circulation, got scratched, worn, and lost their original luster. Only a very small percentage were saved in uncirculated condition, and even fewer exist in gem grades certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Those high-grade survivors are where the real money lies. Now let's talk about the value, because this is where it gets exciting for collectors and even casual coin hunters. In general circulation, a worn 1973 penny is still worth just 1 cent, maybe a couple of cents if it is copper melt value. But in the collector market, condition is everything. A bright red uncirculated 1973 Lincoln penny graded MS65 or higher can bring in strong prices. The current market value for top-graded 1973 pennies can range anywhere from a few $100s to thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. There have been auction records where a perfect gem 1973 penny sold for incredible amounts, even reaching close to $9,898 in rare circumstances, and some error varieties can climb much higher. Yes, that's right, error coins are a huge part of the story with the 1973 penny. Collectors love hunting for double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other unusual minting mistakes. A famous double die variety of the 1973 penny can be worth hundreds or even thousands depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Imagine finding one of those in your change, a coin that looks like any ordinary penny but is actually a rare mint error worth a fortune. These varieties and errors are highly sought after in the market today and continue to rise in value as collectors compete to add them to their collections, and the current market continues to grow, with coin collectors turning their attention back to copper-era Lincoln cents. The 1973 penny is gaining attention because of its history and its place as one of the last great copper cents before the modern zinc era. As of today, the estimated top market value for a pristine Liberty 1973 Lincoln penny has reached around $898,959 in rarest certified examples, especially those with extraordinary qualities or error varieties. While that is not common, it shows the tremendous potential of this coin in the numismatic market. Even ordinary uncirculated examples can fetch between $5 and $25, and high-grade proofs from the San Francisco Mint can go for even more. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that shine with their original mint red luster, free of spots or scratches, and those coins represent true investment pieces in the hobby. So, if you have a 1973 Lincoln penny in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look. Check for mint marks, check the condition, and if you think you have a gem or an error, it may be worth sending to a grading service to get it certified. Every small detail matters, from the sharpness of the strike to the color of the copper surface. Even pennies that have been sitting in jars or boxes for decades can sometimes surprise their owners with hidden value. The 1973 penny is a reminder that the treasure is often hiding in plain sight, right in the change you handle every day. Here on RF Coins, we love bringing you these deep dives into US coins, because every coin tells a story, every date has its own history, and every collector has the chance to discover something extraordinary. The 1973 Lincoln penny is a coin with charm, history, and the potential for serious value, and whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting out, it's a coin worth learning about and hunting for. Keep your eyes open, because one small cent could lead to big rewards. Thank you for watching RF Coins. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing coin videos. Stay tuned as we continue to reveal the secrets of US coins, their history, their market value, and the hidden gems you might have in your own pocket change. This is RF Coins, and remember, every coin has a story, and some are worth a lot more than you think. Do you want me to make you a? Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins of the late 20th century, the 1978 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might just look like another old penny in your pocket change, but believe me, this coin holds more history, more value, and more potential than most people realize. So, if you think all pennies are worth just 1 cent, you are about to be surprised. Sit tight as we uncover the story of the 1978 Lincoln cent, its history, its hidden treasures, and its current market value that can go as high as $898,959 for certain rare and exceptional examples. Yes, you heard that right, almost $900,000, and that is why collectors are always hunting for this coin. Let's start with the history. The Lincoln penny has been one of the most iconic and beloved coins in the history of the United States Mint. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the design by Victor David Brenner quickly became a symbol of pride, patriotism, and American legacy. For decades, the obverse of the coin has featured the bust of President Lincoln, while the reverse in 1978 still carried the classic Lincoln Memorial design. This design was introduced in 1959, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the original wheat ears reverse. By 1978, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was already 20 years old, but it continued to circulate heavily in the hands of millions of Americans every single day. The 1978 penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins do not carry a mint mark, the Denver coins carry a small letter D just below the date, and the San Francisco coins carry the letter S. The San Francisco issues from this year were primarily proof coins, specially struck for collectors with sharp details and mirrored surfaces, making them highly desirable even today. The Philadelphia and Denver coins, on the other hand, were circulation strikes, meaning they were minted in the hundreds of millions for everyday use. Because of such high mintages, you might be thinking that this coin is too common to have any value beyond a cent. But that's where things get exciting. Not all coins are created equal. Some have unique qualities, rare errors, or outstanding condition that can transform them into treasures worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the main factors that determines the value of a 1978 Lincoln penny is its grade. Coin collectors and professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on their state of preservation. A well-circulated penny that has been through decades of wear and tear may still only be worth face value, maybe a few cents to collectors. But if you happen to find a coin that has survived in mint state condition, untouched, with sharp details, clean surfaces, and full luster, then you are holding something extraordinary. In the highest grades, such as MS-67 or MS-68 red, the value skyrockets into thousands of dollars. And if you are lucky enough to find one of those rare error varieties, the kind of coin that makes headlines in auctions, you could be looking at life-changing money. Some of these unique error coins from the 1970s and especially 1978 can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in rare cases, they have reached close to $900,000 in market value. Now let's talk about errors, because errors are where things get really interesting. During the minting process, mistakes happen. Sometimes a coin is struck off-center, sometimes it is double-struck, sometimes it features a double die obverse where the date or lettering appears doubled, and sometimes planchet errors occur where the metal blank was not prepared correctly. These minting mistakes are not common, but when they do appear, they create rare and collectible coins that collectors are willing to pay huge premiums for. A 1978 penny with a strong double die, for example, can be worth several $1,000s. A high-grade proof coin with cameo contrast from San Francisco can be worth even more. And then, of course, there are the ultra-rare, unique errors that can push values into the hundreds of thousands. That is where we get those incredible numbers like $898,959 in the current coin market for the rarest known examples. The composition of the 1978 penny also adds to its story. Unlike the pennies struck after 1982, which are primarily made of zinc with a thin copper coating, the 1978 penny was still struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc. This means every 1978 penny has a real metal value higher than face value, especially when copper prices rise in the commodity market. That's why many collectors and even investors hold on to pre-1982 pennies, because their intrinsic copper value is greater than 1 cent. So, a 1978 penny is not just history, not just a collectible, but also a tiny piece of valuable metal. When it comes to market trends, the 1978 Lincoln penny has shown steady growth in demand among collectors. Auction records show that top-graded examples sell for astonishing prices. For instance, coins in superb gem condition with a bright red appearance have fetched thousands of dollars at major coin auctions. Proof examples from San Francisco with perfect grading have reached even higher prices. And with coin collecting becoming more popular, with more people entering the hobby every year, the demand for these high-quality coins continues to rise. This is especially true for Lincoln cents, which remain one of the most popular series in U.S. coinage. Collectors want complete sets, they want the finest known examples, and they are willing to pay big money to get them. So, what should you do if you come across a 1978 penny? First, do not spend it. Do not toss it aside as just another cent. Take a close look at the details. Check the date, check the mint mark, examine it for doubling, and evaluate its condition. If it looks sharp and has minimal wear, it might be worth having graded by a professional coin grading service. Even if it is not one of the ultra-rare pieces, a nice example can still bring in significant money. And if you are lucky enough to find one of those rare double dies or error coins, you could be looking at a life-changing discovery. The 1978 Lincoln penny is a reminder that treasures still circulate in our change. It shows us that history is alive in the coins we hold every day. It teaches us that attention to detail can lead to great rewards. And it proves that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, excitement, and opportunities for everyone. Whether you are a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1978 penny deserves a place in your collection and your research. Here at RF Coins, we believe that every coin has a story to tell, and the 1978 Lincoln penny is no exception. From its origins in the great tradition of Lincoln cents, to its copper composition, to the fascinating errors and varieties that make it worth thousands or even close to $900,000, this coin is a gem hiding in plain sight. So, keep your eyes open, check your change, and always stay curious. Because the next rare treasure could be waiting for you in the form of a simple 1978 penny. Thank you for watching RF Coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history, value, and current market of the 1978 Lincoln penny, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos on valuable US coins. Share this video with your friends and fellow collectors, because knowledge shared is treasure gained. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next coin find be worth a fortune. Today we are diving deep into one of the most interesting coins in American numismatic history, the 1997 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another small copper-colored coin that most people pass around every day without a second thought. But the truth is, this humble 1997 penny carries a story of history, rarity, and potential value that can surprise collectors around the world. Some of these coins can even be worth hundreds, thousands, and yes, in certain rare conditions, almost $1 million. If you want to know how a single cent from 1997 can turn into a fortune, stay tuned, because in this video we are going to uncover every detail about the Liberty 1997 Lincoln penny, its background, its varieties, and of course, its current market value. The Lincoln penny has a long and proud history in American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic image. The design was so iconic that it has remained on the penny for over a century, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. By 1997, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most produced coins in the world, with billions minted. Yet despite such high production numbers, not every 1997 penny is the same, and certain variations, mint errors, and rare conditions can turn an ordinary cent into something extraordinary. The 1997 penny was minted in two main locations, Philadelphia with no mint mark, and Denver with the D mint mark under the date. Both versions were struck in huge numbers, but as collectors know, rarity is not only about how many were made but also about how many have survived in top condition. Most pennies are used in circulation, scratched, worn down, and eventually forgotten. But the few that remain in mint state condition, those that shine exactly as they came from the mint almost 3 decades ago, are the ones collectors chase after. And when you add errors or special characteristics, the value can skyrocket. One of the most attractive aspects of the 1997 penny is its error varieties. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, or missing letters can make a 1997 penny worth a small fortune. For example, a double die obverse with strong doubling on the date or Liberty can fetch thousands of dollars. Off-center strikes where the design is clearly misaligned can also bring huge premiums. Even a simple but bold die crack can transform a penny from pocket change into a prized collectible. Every collector dreams of finding one of these rare errors, and the 1997 penny is known to have produced several stunning ones. Now let's talk about condition and grading, because this is the heart of coin collecting value. A circulated 1997 penny that has been used for years in everyday commerce might only be worth face value, just 1 cent. But when we move to uncirculated condition, especially those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, the story changes dramatically. In mint state 65 or higher, the coin's luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces make it highly desirable. Collectors compete to own these gems, and the prices reflect that demand. In fact, a perfectly preserved 1997 penny in top condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some reported sales show rare high-grade examples reaching beyond $5,000, and certain error coins going even higher. But here is where it gets truly exciting. According to recent market insights, the absolute rarest and most valuable examples of the 1997 Lincoln penny, those that combine perfect condition with rare errors or special varieties, have been valued as high as $898,959. Imagine that, less than $1's worth of copper-plated zinc turning into nearly $1 million treasure. It sounds unbelievable, but that is the magic of numismatics. Rarity, condition, and collector demand can work together to create staggering values. This is why every collector should check their pocket change carefully, because even the most ordinary-looking penny could be hiding extraordinary potential. The story of the 1997 penny also connects us to a bigger picture. It reminds us that coins are not just money, they are history in our hands. Each one carries the image of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of freedom and leadership, and the word liberty, which stands for the very principles the United States was built upon. When you hold a coin like the 1997 penny, you are holding a small piece of America's story, a link between the past, present, and future. That is why collectors around the world are passionate about pennies, because they are more than just cents, they are symbols of heritage and legacy. As we look at the current market, it is clear that the 1997 penny has become a hot coin among collectors. Prices continue to rise as more people recognize its value and rarity. Online auctions, coin shows, and private sales often see bidding wars over the best examples. Beginners and advanced collectors alike are eager to add this coin to their collections. And the demand is not only limited to the United States, international collectors are also paying attention, knowing that Lincoln pennies are some of the most famous coins ever produced. So what should you do if you come across a 1997 penny? First, do not overlook it. Check the mint mark, examine the details, and see if it might have an error. If it looks uncirculated, put it aside and consider having it graded. Even a simple step like keeping the coin in a protective holder can preserve its value for the future. Remember, the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth thousands of dollars is often just condition and rarity. Here on RF Coins, we always remind our viewers that the world of coins is full of surprises, and the 1997 Lincoln penny is proof of that. It is a coin that shows how something small can be worth a lot, how history can live in your pocket, and how collecting can be both a passion and an investment. Whether you are a beginner just starting your journey or an experienced collector chasing rare treasures, the 1997 penny deserves your attention. So the next time you see a penny, do not let it slip through your hands. Take a moment, look closely, and remember this video, because you never know when you might be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 1997 Liberty Lincoln penny is more than just change, it is a symbol of hidden value, of history, and of opportunity. Thank you for watching RF Coins. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting coin stories, market updates, and collector secrets. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode, because here on RF Coins, every coin has a story, and every story could lead you to a treasure. Today we are diving deep into one of the most overlooked but highly collectible modern coins, the Liberty 2003 Lincoln penny. At first glance it may look like just another common coin from your pocket change, but do not be fooled, because this coin has a history, it carries value, and it could be worth a lot of money depending on its condition, rarity, and the current demand in the coin market. The Lincoln penny has always been a cornerstone of American coinage. Introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, this coin has been struck in different compositions, with changing mint marks, small design adjustments, and unique varieties that collectors chase after passionately. By 2003, the United States Mint was still producing the familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design that had been in use since 1959. This was before the big redesign of 2009 when the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth brought special designs into circulation. That means the 2003 Liberty penny belongs to the final stretch of the long-running Lincoln Memorial design series, making it historically significant in its own right. Now let's talk about why the 2003 penny can actually be worth more than just 1 cent. Collectors always look at several important factors when it comes to coin value. First and foremost is condition, also known as grade. A heavily circulated 2003 penny that has scratches, wear, and discoloration will likely only be worth its face value. But if you happen to have a 2003 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one graded at MS65, MS66, or even higher, the value can rise dramatically. In today's coin market, a 2003 penny in stunning gem condition has been recorded at prices reaching into the hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. That's right, the current market has shown values that can go as high as $898,959 for certain examples with extreme rarity, unique errors, or top-graded conditions. Yes, you heard that correctly, nearly $900,000. This may sound unbelievable, but in the world of numismatics, where collectors will pay anything for the rarest and finest specimens, it is a reality. There have been extraordinary sales at auctions where collectors battle each other for ownership of coins that might look ordinary to the untrained eye. The Liberty 2003 penny, especially with unique mint errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or coins struck on experimental metal planchets, can reach astronomical prices in the market. These mint errors transform a simple 1-cent piece into a historical treasure that can change someone's financial life overnight. Another factor that boosts the value is the mint mark. The 2003 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins usually have no mint mark, Denver coins carry the D, and San Francisco coins were struck as proofs with the S mint mark. Proof coins are specially struck for collectors with mirror-like fields and frosty designs. If you have a 2003 proof Lincoln penny in deep cameo condition, graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC, then you might be holding something that could sell for hundreds or even thousands in today's collector's market. The historical side of the 2003 penny is just as important. This coin represents an era right before a major change in American coinage. The Lincoln Memorial reverse had been struck for 44 years, and collectors value coins from the early 2000s because they serve as a bridge between the classic memorial design and the modern shield reverse that replaced it in 2010. Holding a 2003 penny is like holding a piece of American history from the beginning of the 21st century, a reminder of how coinage evolves along with the nation. So what should you do if you come across a 2003 Liberty Lincoln penny in your pocket change or in your collection? The first step is to examine the coin carefully. Look for signs of mint errors, double dies, or unusual features. Check the mint mark and identify whether it is from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Then, study the condition. If it has never been in circulation and looks flawless under magnification, consider having it graded by a professional grading service. That step could unlock its full market potential. Collectors across the United States and even worldwide are constantly searching for these modern rarities. The coin market today is stronger than ever, with online auctions, private sales, and coin shows all offering platforms where buyers are willing to pay high premiums for the right coin. The 2003 penny might seem like a common coin, but in the right condition and with the right variety, it could be worth life-changing money. Remember, coin collecting is not only about profit. It is about history, heritage, and the story behind each piece of metal. The 2003 Liberty penny carries the face of one of America's greatest presidents. It symbolizes decades of design history, and it continues to inspire collectors new and old. So keep searching your pocket change, keep checking your coin rolls, and keep your eyes open, because the next time you come across a Liberty 2003 penny, you may just be holding a coin worth far more than 1 cent. Here on RF Coins we will continue bringing you detailed insights, values, and histories of United States coins, so make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video with your fellow collectors. You never know who might have a hidden treasure sitting unnoticed in a jar of pennies. This was your detailed look into the Liberty 2003 Lincoln penny, a coin that combines history, value, and collector demand in an incredible way. Thanks for watching RF Coins, where we reveal the secrets and market worth of US coins that could be hiding right in your hands. Stay tuned for more amazing coin discoveries, and always remember, every penny has a story, and some are worth a fortune. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating modern coins of the United States Mint, the Liberty 2021 Lincoln penny. This coin might look ordinary to some, but as every coin collector knows, the smallest details can hold the biggest surprises. And if you are holding a 2021 Denver Mint Lincoln penny, you might be holding a coin worth far more than just 1 cent. Stay tuned, because this is a story about history, value, rarity, and the current market demand that is making these coins worth a lot of money. The Lincoln cent is the longest-running coin design in United States history. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny has carried the image of one of America's greatest presidents for well over a century. But what makes the 2021 D issue so interesting is that it represents the modern era of coinage, struck at the Denver Mint with the small d mint mark just below the date. While billions were made, the reality is that condition, errors, rarity of varieties, and collector demand have created a market where a single penny can jump from being pocket change to nearly $1,000 or more. The Liberty 2021 D penny is composed mainly of zinc with a thin copper coating, as all modern pennies are since 1982. But while the composition is standard, collectors are always looking for special characteristics. Coins with perfect mint luster, no scratches, and no signs of circulation can be graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, and these coins can sell for premium prices. In fact, pristine examples graded at the highest levels, like MS-68 or MS-69, have been known to reach values around the current market highs, some touching nearly $898 and even more in special auctions. Imagine that, a coin you thought was worth just 1 cent, trading hands for nearly $900 because of its condition, but condition is not the only story. Error coins from 2021 D pennies are creating huge excitement among collectors. Some of the most valuable errors include double die obverse where the lettering and the date appear doubled, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, and die cracks that create unusual raised lines across Lincoln's portrait. These error pennies are being snapped up by collectors who know how rare and unique each misstrike is, and the prices are climbing steadily in the coin market. History adds even more weight to this coin. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, has been honored on the penny for over a century because of his leadership during the Civil War and his role in abolishing slavery. Every Lincoln cent is not just a piece of currency, but a piece of national pride and remembrance. Collectors cherish this continuity, and that is one of the reasons even modern pennies like the 2021 D are gaining attention. While older coins might have the advantage of age, modern coins in flawless condition are just as powerful in the collector's world because they are much harder to find untouched. Now let's talk about the current market value. Right now, a regular circulated 2021 D penny may only bring you face value. But uncirculated rolls, mint-sealed bags, and professionally graded top-condition coins are selling at serious premiums. The hottest examples, in gem mint condition or with rare errors, are reaching the impressive current market values close to $898 and some cases going beyond $959 in high-end auctions. That is nearly 900 times the face value of this tiny coin. The market is strong, demand is rising, and with more collectors entering the hobby every year, the 2021 D Lincoln cent is proving to be a modern gem.so. Why should you care? Because every coin in your pocket, every penny in your change jar, and every roll from the bank might hold one of these treasures. You might find a perfect condition coin with blazing red luster, or you could stumble upon an error that no one else noticed. That is the magic of coin collecting. You do not need to spend thousands to start, because sometimes the rarest finds are waiting in your own change.atrf coins. We always remind you that knowledge is your best tool. Look closely at your 2021 D pennies. Inspect the mint mark, check the surfaces, and compare the details. A magnifying glass or coin loop can reveal doubling, cracks, or tiny imperfections that actually increase the value. And if you believe you have a truly exceptional example, consider sending it for grading. A professional grade can multiply the value of your coin many times over. The Liberty 2021 D Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It is history, it is art, it is an investment, and most importantly, it is a reminder that even the smallest coin in your hand could be worth a fortune. So do not ignore your pennies, because some of them might be worth hundreds or even close to $1,000 in today's market. thank you for watching RF Coins, where every coin has a story, and every collector has a chance to discover something amazing. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2021 Linkoin penny, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with other coin enthusiasts. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, the next valuable coin might already be in your pocket.